Good evening. This is the Northern Kane Educational Corp. regular board meeting for August 18th, 2025. The time is 7:01 p.m. and I am calling the meeting to order.
Chair Maniscalco,
Yes.
Director Miller,
Present.
Director Burke,
Present.
Director Walsh,
Present.
Director Fessler,
Present.
Vice Chair Corsaro,
Present.
Mr. Razor,
Present.
Ms. Keating. Quorum is present.
Thank you. At this time, I'd like to recognize our guests. We have Dr. Kim Sudebek and Dr. Lynn Gibson. Thank you very much. Item number 2 is our D300 report with Ms. Shelley Nackey.
Yes, thank you. I'm brief tonight. Dr. Smith would like to extend her wishes of she's looking forward to the start of the school year and excited to come for visits this school year.
Thank you. Item number 3, approval of the agenda. I need a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
I'd like to make an amendment to the agenda for consent item 8. Item number 8.2 should read the minutes of July 21, 2025 regular minutes and the closed session board meeting minutes. I would also like to strike item number 8.4. I need a motion to approve as amended.
So moved.
Second.
Director Burke,
Yes.
Vice Chair Corsaro,
Yes.
Director Fessler,
Yes.
Director Miller,
Yes.
Director Walsh,
Yes.
and Chair Maniscalco.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item number 3.3, motion to approve remote participation as presented.
So moved. Second. Okay.
Director Burke,
Yes.
Vice Chair Corsaro,
Yes.
Director Fessler,
Yes.
Director Miller,
Yes.
Director Walsh,
Yes.
Chair Maniscalco.
Yes.
Motion carries.
We're now moving to open session. Item number 4. Item number 5 is comments from the audience. Are there any comments that we've obtained from the audience?
No, there is not.
Okay. That moves us to item number 6, which is our chair report. 6.1 is the oath of office. So annually, we do have our oath of office, which is renewed. And at this time, I'd like to have us read that as a board, and then each of us will sign the oath of office. Alyssa, can you make it any bigger?
On the Zoom. Yep, we'll see.
Okay.
There they go.
Okay. Okay. Everyone on the board ready?
Ready.
I, Jennifer, we should read together. Do solemnly
Swear.
swear for
That I will faithfully
discharge the duties of the
discharge the duties
office
of the office of the Board of
of the Board of
Directors of
Directors of Northern Kane
Educational Corp.
Educational Corp.
I
I promise that I will fulfill my
my
responsibilities
responsibilities
with loyalty and care, and will not advance my personal interests. I will understand and uphold in letter and in spirit the laws, regulations,
and best
practices
that
that govern my conduct, my
my
organization,
organization,
and the nonprofit sector. I further swear that I
that
understand that
understand
the funding
the
source
funding
for
source for Northern Kane Educational Corp
operations
operations
consists
consists
of
of
tax
tax
dollars,
dollars.
and I shall respect
Shall respect
taxpayer
taxpayer
interests
interests
by serving as a
the
faithful
faithful protector
protector of the school's
of the school
assets.
assets.
I shall
I shall
encourage and
encourage and
respect
respect
the free expression of opinion by my fellow board
members
and others who seek a
who
hearing
seek a hearing
before the board,
board, while
while respecting the
respecting
privacy of
the
students
privacy
and
of students
employees.
and employees.
I shall
I shall
recognize that a board
recognize that
member
a
has
board
no
member has
legal
no
authority
legal
as
authority
an
as
individual,
an
and
individual.
the decisions can be made only by a majority of the vote
Majority of
of a
vote at a
public
public
board
board
meeting,
meeting.
and I shall abide by
Abide
majority
Majority
decisions
decisions of the
of the
board
board while
while
retaining the right
retaining
to
the right to seek
changes in
in
such
such
decisions
decisions
through
through
ethical
ethical
and
and
constructive channels.
constructive channels.
Thank you to each of our board members as we renew our oath. This is something that we take extremely seriously, and it's this oath that, again, that we will sign and submit so that that is also on record. Thank you. Other than the oath of office, I will now ask Mr. Razor to provide the CEO report.
Good evening, board. Today we started with our teachers back and we had a great day. Even though we had tornadoes rip through and some storms and everything else, everybody is fine and back at home now. And so we are underway with the opening of the 26 school year. I'll start off with our enrollment report. What you see is that our enrollment is growing. And so we are at 695 students as of August 1st. And so when you compare that to last year at this time, we were right around 635. At the opening of last year, I believe we were at 643. And so the charter school is on an upward trajectory. By the next report, you will see that we are above 700 as we are registering more and more students into the actual school.
Oh, that's great.
So
I think that's the most that's ever been.
Can you repeat the question, Ann?
yeah, one question I
Question.
have is, sorry, Ann, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. It wasn't a question. I was just saying, I think that's the most that we've ever had for enrollment at the beginning of a year or at any time. I think that says a lot.
Yeah, I think what we're doing is we're getting back to finally those pre-pandemic numbers. You know, with the housing market the way it's been and the boom out here, it's we're just seeing a pretty large growth. We have had, which is very nice at our middle school, at our upper school level in the middle grades. We've had some transfers come in from different schools in the area. So that has moved us you know, ahead of where we were planned at 680.
One follow-up question I have as we're looking at the growth in our enrollment, could you provide particular information about the high school numbers?
Yes. So the breakdown for TCLA, the high school portion of it, currently we have 4 ninth graders, so 4 freshmen, 6 sophomores, 12 juniors, and 8 seniors. There is a portion of them that weren't captured because there's still there was a rollover happening, and we're having more and more enroll in that program. So as we look toward the next report, you should see those numbers tick up. I want to give a lot of credit to Mrs. Wachowski on that and her recruitment efforts, working with District 300 as this being a great possibility for some of the students where the traditional public high school may not be the right fit.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Are there any other questions on the enrollment report at this time? Okay. So moving forward then, our financial report. So we are in very good shape. As you see here in the graph that our revenues way exceeded our expenses and our actual budget. That is because we had such a large ERC come in. And so with that amount of money coming in, it pushed everything above. So when we back the ERC out, when we take that 2.1 million out, we were still under budget. And that allowed us, or that was because of our efficiencies that we put into place, so that even though we came in under the what we had anticipated as a 5% PCTC rate increase was only 1.5%. And so, I think we're in very good financial health moving into the future. Cherry Becker has been here for since around the end of July into the first couple weeks of August, completing our audit. That audit will be prepared in September, and they will come and present our audit for fiscal year 25 in October to the board. Are there any other questions regarding the financial report? Okay. All right, moving on to capital improvements. For those of you that have just looked around, we have brand new lights. Our HVAC is now fully functioning. They are just running all of the different tests on it to make sure that it can, that the balance of the air coming out of each unit is where it should be. And our classroom renovations are in the final stages. Today we had a whole bunch of concrete torn up to replace the damaged concrete that was at the front of the building, and then the parking lot renovation. So that should all be done by the end of this Friday. And then the main office is fully open and functional. So everything looks like it's coming together as planned and on schedule for us to open the school safely. Are there any questions on the capital improvement update?
Just to confirm then with the improvements as we plan for the, I think it's the back to school picnic, families will be able to be on campus on that date.
Correct. Yes. Yep. The building will be open and ready to go.
Thank you.
Okay. There's no other questions. So we had to post for our Emma, our fourth quarter. So last month we posted our third quarter. Because of the truncated year, we needed to file for our fourth quarter filing with Emma per the debt or for the bond covenant. And so we were able to post that. And this is part of our covenant where we have to notify the board every time that we post on Emma. So we met that requirement. Our policy advisory committee. So as we continue to look at some of our policies, Heather Brickman, our attorney, has been going through all of our policies to make sure that they're aligned with current law and what will protect us moving forward as an organization. And so two policies that she wants us to look at right away are parent organizations, because currently we do not have anything in policy to help provide us with guidance or provide them with guidance. And so she's recommended a parent organization policy. In addition, we do not have a gift policy on how to accept gifts and what would make it so that the board would need to approve an acceptance of a gift, which would be a typical monetary threshold. Anything under that monetary threshold, the board would not need approval, but anything above the board would need approval on. And so what I'm asking is for Chair Maniscalco to provide two volunteers from the board to serve on that policy advisory committee to begin that review work. Then we would draft the policies based on what our needs are as an organization versus what press may have put out, and then bring it as a first reading and a second reading to the board in subsequent months.
Okay, I'll have those names for you at the next board meeting. Is that appropriate?
Excellent. Moving forward, then was it Wednesday? Tony Sanders, after the Illinois State Board of Education meeting, he held a webinar for everyone in the state to go through what the new cut scores are going to look like based on what ISB voted on in their board meeting. And so, as I laid out in the NKEC report, the original cut scores that were developed above the College Board test cut scores that were put into place when we adopted the SAT. And so when the SAT came in, when College Board was there, they did tell the state that these were above the national norms. Dr. Sanders, I think he was true to his word. He said this is something that he wanted to tackle as the state superintendent, and he was able to do that. And so it brings the cut scores back down to a level where our proficiency rates are more accurate with the rest of the country, because we were telling students who were proficient in every other state that they couldn't make it in college, that they weren't college or career ready based on the cut scores in Illinois. And so with the adjustment back to the ACT and with these new cut scores, we should be able to see a rise in the amount of proficiency, not only in the state, but at Cambridge Lakes here as well. Now, there's one caveat, is they made it difficult for the cut scores in IAR, but not for science. So the science cut scores were too easy to attain. There was too many schools having mastery, right? Too many students having mastery. So they had to increase the rigor of the cut scores for science. So we may end up seeing that we will see a dip statewide as far as our science mastery to be more in line with the rest of the field. Currently, ISB is working with Pearson, the vendor, to get all of the cut scores implemented. I believe it started last Thursday with them. It'll take them about 3 weeks. That will load into the SIS. And then we'll be able to capture out some of our raw data to see where our individual scores are and then where our school scores are. And as you know, the information that is for our school report card is embargoed until the end of October. So once that's not embargoed in October 31st, which is a Friday, we can all celebrate and go get candy from strangers and have a wonderful Halloween that night. So, but I think this is a good thing for our state. I think it's a great thing for our school that we're being more realistic on what proficiency truly means for a child in Illinois. Other questions on the ISB update? Okay, tonight we are lucky again to have our partners, Dr. Lynn Gibson and Dr. Kim Sudbeck from HYA, to walk us through what we've been talking about for our strategic plan. And so I'm going to turn the floor over to them to take us through what our plan looks like.
Thanks for having us again. We appreciate it. Nice to see all of you again. The grants on here are remote increase. That's pretty nice. That's pretty good to hear. And we do that start school yet. We walk in, of course, like we started school yet. So we know how it goes. Downloads, right? Actually, magically, we've been all set to go right after the debate break. So it's nice to be back. So I'll go ahead and just walk through some of this, maybe very short PowerPoint for you. We're going to talk about the 4 phases. You heard this from us the last time we were here. We're just going to review this way. We want to know a bit of the timeline. Organizational readiness, we're in that phase right now with all of you. Alyssa knows it heavily because we've been on with her a lot and making sure you get all the dates set up and all of that. Just setting the stage for it so that we're ready to go with that, especially with the group that's going to be meeting later on. But trying to get as much data as we can from the different stakeholder groups. Takes us into the inclusive engagement in the second square here. How's the organization doing and what could you desire down the road? So we'll talk a little bit more about that, but we'll be asking the same questions of all the stakeholders. put together the report, look at those themes that we'll be working with. Then the strategic planning, we will be able to, take a look at that report also, as well as the board. Focus on the future, this is where we're creating a strategic plan. As we mentioned before, it's a lot of fun and a lot of work. So we like the fact that it's both of those, when our, when everyone comes back the second day, everybody's a little more worn out, and we're like, you can do this. And so that second day is also really important as we go in on that plan. And then the last phase is implement and evaluate where the action plans are created so that you can move forward with that. The plans are great, but you gotta have some action to it or nothing will happen. And it's way too much work and frankly, way too much fun and getting everybody together, that two-way dialogue. Not take that plan and use it, really use it for the next years. So. Our tentative timeline is phase 1 is May through August. We're in that right now, obviously. Phase 2 that we just talked about, September to early November, we're going to be gathering all that data. It's a lot of it's really neat to sit and talk to people, whether it's online or whether it's in person with them, just to find out what are their thoughts on it. All that, and then again, we work through all of that and find those themes that we need to use for going forward. Phase 3 is January through March. We just set the dates, February
6th and 7th.
Okay, so that's and within that phase, we'll be having the team together, and then the award approval. We're assuming in March. That's all tentative. We're working to mark on how that comes back to the board. The plan has to be approved by our review before going forward, and making sure that those plans are developed.
So, as part of the engagement process, moving into phase 2, we'll do an interview process. And like Lynn said, we're gonna ask the same exact questions about everybody. And then we're gonna look at trends. So we talked about trends and patterns, and we'll put it all together in a very comprehensive report. But as we're having conversations with Mark, these are the people that will be a part of the interview process. These are one-to-one interviews. So obviously all of you here will be interviewed, Mark will be interviewed, and then the 300 board president calls. We also will do focus groups. So these will put together particular people together to look at different similar questions, but they're asked in a little bit different way. Again, every group will be asked the exact same questions. We're going to be looking at trends and patterns again. We've looked at the diversity of your organization to make sure that we are capturing as many people and as many groups as possible, so we can see a big diverse group and get their opinions and their so we'll be looking at the family, right? Hopefully there's no real ugly, but just what we talked about. So we'll be talking to the administration. We have a couple different parent groups that we'll be talking to. We'll look at certified staff. Students are very important. We kind of really push to have students out there. I think students voice this group is for them. I didn't have the rights. Support staff, municipalities, you guys are big in this, municipalities, most of all the areas, and then the business and the big. And then the last part of the engagement plan is to do a survey. So if I aim in a very nice comprehensive survey that they will be filling out to these groups. Again, our goal is to connect diversity as possible with the organization to see all of the things that we can possibly see. Again, we're not looking for very specific things, we're looking at trends and patterns, and that's what we'll be. So the survey will be out for a few weeks. You can always extend that survey if you're not doing a lot of participation, but we will try to keep the survey sites tonight, right? That way we can get people. So it will feel really in some of that. I think they have big dates for that. So you'll get a survey, and we ask that you fill that out as well as these other. No questions for us? We're super excited to be really getting out of phase 2, digging in and doing all the
Mark this meeting just a lot. So go on that, yes, we have some. I think still I'm reading my cafeteria stance when People always like, there's this thing here, they take the administrator out of the door, and go on to the administrator or whatever, but I'm sitting here like, I'm gonna get tired watching French fries. More like this, but also then realize I'm like, but, any questions of this all about those different phases that we can answer for you, that, you know, one person talks about it also, like,
I have a question. The survey process, is that electronic? Is it paper? Is it,
It's electronic.
okay.
We've talked about putting it in the cycle of what we do, so like if there's, peer to conferences, let's have a survey out there in peer to conferences, so it's easier for people. But it is all.
Is there a goal for like completion rate, or is there kind of like a standard of the percentage of people who complete it or that you're going for?
we take all of the data, we try to get as much as we can.
Mhm.
And surveys are hard to get people to fill out. And I always like when it says this will take you this many minutes, but let's get into it, like, you can't follow it right now. So it has all of that in it, but we try to at least get, 10 or 20%. You can, more we can get, and we'll talk to Mark about it, but if it's gone out and it's still not hitting a lot of people, we can send it again, and we send it a few times. And then, we can like say to staff, hey, you can take still hours, captive audience and faculty, and everybody fill it out now. Or whatever, anytime we get a captive audience, that's really helpful.
And
Yeah,
again,
I just kind of put it off and you're like.
there's similar questions but asked in a different way, so that we're trying to get as much information in similar ways of similar.
And I think if we're below that 20% threshold, what we'll probably do is look at what type of incentives we can do. Right, to get the feedback. So whether it's a raffle, whether it's a student incentive, whatever it may be, just for completion.
Thank you.
As Kim says, when you pull into the middle of the organization that helps, hey, while you're here for this, here's, let's go ahead and just fill it out for us or whatever. So whatever you can do to make that happen a little bit more.
You guys all know, we get surveys all the time, okay, I'll do it, and you don't do it, it's the same thing, like, you have good intentions, but whatever we can do will be, come from the organization itself, but, we'll keep plugging on. We look at it and routinely to see what kind of participation there is, and we'll keep on marking it.
I have a question that relates to that. I don't know if I'm coming across clearly on it, but my question is what is your vision, or how do we ensure that there's equal representation? I understand the 20% goal, but I'm looking for that representation from the community specifically.
But like, within those groups, you want to make sure that we have participation within each one of those groups.
Yeah, I'm particularly interested in the community.
And so they will mark like who they are in the community. And then we'll be watching that, and if we don't have enough, we'll be able to mark and listen and say, hey, can we push this out again into this group to make sure that they are really responding to it? Otherwise, if we don't watch that and we don't continue to push it out, we may not get the diversity that we want. And that's what we're going to go for always. That's a great question.
So to clarify, Chairman Escalco, it will be 20% of each subgroup. So to make
Okay.
sure that it's not going to be holistic, right? So that's where Lynn and Kim will get the breakdown of it. So where we're at and where we need to push more to gain more feedback in those different areas to get over that statistical threshold of validity and reliability.
Okay.
But same with the focus groups, we even have people, focus groups represent diversity of the organization. You have that front. If there's some reason, there's somebody group that can't make it, we can always reschedule or something to get that. So want to make sure that they're involved.
Will there be specific questions for each of the subgroups, or will they be the same?
They're the same.
There is a part too where they can give other comments also, and you will see those. So in case there's something that we're missing in the questions, they really want us to know, how they will tell us that. One of the last questions is there anything else we need to know? So you do want to know as much as you can.
Director Miller, I see your hands raised.
Yeah, sorry, it was hard to hear, so I apologize if this was covered and I didn't hear it. Um, two separate questions. So one following up on what was just discussed. On those questions, once they are developed, does that run through an approval process with the board or approval process with Mark, or is that just developed between your group and then out to the community?
It's a research-based survey that HYA has gathered based on the research that they have done and questions that they feel is important to ask in the strategic planning process.
So it's not necessarily specific to our school and our area, but it's what you've developed through your research throughout your whole area.
Correct.
Okay, is that the same? Then I'm segueing over into my other question, which has to do with the board and the board questions. Is that the same with the board questions? Are those specific then to our charter school, or are they generalized questions?
They're generalized questions that get asked each person the same way.
Okay, so again, they're not specific to our school, or are they specific to charter school organization, or are they just generalized board education, public school type questions?
They're specific to the improvement process of instruction. They ask questions about what is going well, like, so what is the strength? What things, if you had the perfect school in the next 3 to 5 years, what would that look like, right? So there's,
Okay,
where they can visualize, but it's not, it's specific to improvement in instruction and education in general.
okay. And those questions to the board, are they going to be for written responses, verbal responses, survey responses within a group setting? What is that process?
For the interviews, we will meet with you either face-to-face or virtually, because we want that interaction with you. So if there's, yes, individuals, if there's further clarification on something, we want to be able to ask those questions, and so that way we make sure that we have the most accurate data.
Okay,
So-
thank you. Those were my questions.
Director Miller, just to clarify, so you will have a 1 hour interview with Kim and Lynn, and then you will also have a survey that's sent to you. So it will
Okay.
capture anything that you may not have articulated in the interview process. The survey will capture the rest of that in written form as well.
Okay, thank you.
So does that mean that just to kind of clarify a bit further, does that mean then the interview obviously will be, I believe it'll be open-ended, an open-ended discussion, but it's the digital survey that is homogenized, or it's the same for all of the groups. Do I have that right?
There are open-ended questions on the survey as well.
Mm-hmm. I think where we're going is, and that's why I kept digging into the community and kept rephrasing or getting clarity on that, is because unlike other schools, and in particular our charter school, it is vital that we understand our community specifically, because of the unique place that we sit within D300. So hopefully that makes sense, and I welcome your comments and feedback to ensure that we really get the best information about our particular community within D300.
We have a sample, we can talk with Mark. There is a customized version, but it is more expensive. We can talk to Mark about that after looking at the he has access to questions on the, what we call generic, generic one. So that's something that we can talk about. And then if that's something that the board is interested in, there is the ability to customize that survey.
Yep. Yeah, Wednesday.
So we'll be seeing you very soon.
I'll have answers to the board by the end of the day on Thursday regarding the
Thank you.
customer questions. Are there any other questions?
Not a question, but more of a statement. I think the survey is important because it captures a lot of people who want to be involved that can't be directly involved. But, having experienced the process several times, I think you'll be able to flesh out all the really important elements when you have the larger community groups come together and talk through things. I think that part is a little less scripted, a little more open to dialogue. So I do think, the survey is a great tool for bringing in, hopefully a lot of information. But again, I think those sessions where we're meeting with people, having, open-ended kind of conversations and dialogue will bring out, I think, all the elements of quality schools and quality educations that we will need to help develop our strategic plan.
It's a great time when there's that two-way dialogue. Makes it just, it's amazing process.
And I think I think everyone is involved and invested, but the people who are spending that amount of time are not just heavily invested, but they have that time to go home and reflect and come back and prepare, for subsequent meetings. So that is a powerful piece of the process, I think.
Are there any other questions regarding the strategic plan update? Okay, with that, I'll turn it back over to Chair Maniscalco.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you very much. Yep.
Thank you very
On
much.
Wednesday.
Appreciate the update.
Drive safe.
Okay, at this time, we will move on to item number 8, which is the consent items. I need a motion to approve consent items.
I make a motion to approve consent item 8.1 bill payments, 8.2 minutes of the July 21 board meeting.
Second.
Any discussion?
Yes. I would like to make a recommendation to revise the regular minutes under chair report and corporate directors. In revising this statement, a roll call vote carried the motion. A roll call vote of the corporate directors carried the motion for both renewing Ann Miller's term and Director Kelly Burke's term to reflect that the vote was just amongst corporate directors.
So we need the consent items to be approved as amended.
So moved.
Second.
Director Burke,
Yes.
Vice Chair Casaro,
Yes.
Director Fessler,
Yes.
Director Miller,
Yes.
Director Walsh,
Yes.
Chair Maniscalco.
Yes,
Motion carries.
thank you. Item number 9, new business, 9.1 technology disposal report. Mr. Razor.
Yes, and so what you see here is in the NKEC report is a list of what we are disposing of. It is the last items for disposal that are moving off of our books, and then on to Elgin Recycling. And so that is, are there any questions over the technology disposal? It is pretty status quo as far as what we have.
How
listed in there.
much do they pay for that?
So they come out and they give us a portion of it to dispose of, but I'll get you the
No,
exact
okay.
one on this one. I'm not sure how much they're going to be able to, we still have MP3 speakers and DVD players and some old intercoms that we're giving away or disposing of. So I will find out from
You.
Director Gerard. Are there any other questions? Okay, managed IT proposal. So currently we have one full-time IT person. And so what we need to look at is there are some gaps that we have in our IT service that that we have not had in the past. And so we don't have someone that watches over our network security, that watches over our actual network, our servers, those types of things. Whereas our current model is really focused on the students and the actual devices themselves in the building. And so for us to if we were going to go through this internally, we would have to hire multiple people, because a person who understands the work of programming or software, working with a computer, is very different than somebody that understands network development or understands cybersecurity. And so by moving toward a managed IT service, it will actually save us money and protect the organization moving forward. We got 3 different quotes based on that. And the proposal is, the recommendation is that that we're bringing forth is to go through and use IT GOAT. And the annual cost or our monthly cost would be $5,685 for an annual $68,220. In the first year, there's a setup and onboarding fee that is then waived in the subsequent years at $14,940. So the first year would come out to $83,160. We are looking at, in our finance committee meeting, Dr. Fessler asked if we could do a multi-year agreement to bring down the cost even more. And so we are looking at getting that actual quote here before the next board meeting to see if we can negotiate even a better price. But overall, if we were to go out and try to hire these people individually, A, the market is not there for them. I mean, everybody's searching for them. And B, it would be above 150,000 because of the amount of personnel that we would need to bring on. So are there any questions regarding the managed IT service proposal?
Just to state, as Dan and I were talking with Mark through that, I think Mark explained more clearly at our finance committee meeting that this allows for, several different types of experts to address any issues that we have. So it's not just one person. If we have a problem, we can call on an army of IT or tech experts that can come out and service any problems we have at a reasonable cost.
So what we will do is we'll bring this back. If we can get a cheaper rate, we will go with a cheaper rate, and I will bring it back for old business for the board to make a decision on in September.
Okay. How long is the term of the contract?
Currently, it's a 1-year rolling contract, but we're looking at if we can get the cost down if we do a multi-year agreement. So if we do a 2 or 3 year agreement, can we get it down even further?
Okay. Okay.
And then inside there, Dr. Fessler did bring up to make sure that we have a performance out inside the agreement. So in the event that they were not performing, so if we go to a longer one, if they're in the event that they're not performing to our standards, then we would be able to have the exit of the contract.
Okay. Not knowing if you have the details of the contract available or within your purview, if you could share anything related to price increases or automatic price increases, especially because it's a rolling agreement. So I'd just like to get a better understanding of what any PIs would look like.
Got it. Yes, I can get that to you. And I believe that is all for new business.
Okay. That gets us to item number 10, which is board discussion. Any board discussion?
I just want to thank Mark for, and I meant to say this before, I really, really appreciate the packet that you put together for us. It makes going through the meeting so much easier. And if we have questions beforehand, it's easier to get a hold of him for clarification. So I just wanted to say thank you for that.
Thank you, Director Miller.
I'm sorry I'm not
I've had
there,
a couple good mentors that showed me that's the way you were supposed to do it. So.
It shows, it's good. And I apologize for not being there, but this weather, I become a little bit more conservative the older I get. And it sounds like right here, we're starting to get a storm again. So sorry for not being there.
Any other board discussion? Hearing none, moving to item number 11, closed session. I need a motion to move into closed session pursuant to OMA exception 2C1, which is the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees of the public body or legal counsel for the public body. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Director Burke,
Yes.
Vice Chair Casaro,
Yes.
Director Fessler,
Yes.
Director Miller,
Yes.
Director Walsh,
Yes.
Chair Maniscalco.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, we should be back in about 10 to 15 minutes. Possible action to follow.
I think 5 to 6:30, so I was still technically gonna be trying to get.
Okay, Chairman Scalpo, we're back in the Kiva.
Okay.
Oh my god.
I need a motion.
They had,
to
so for
suspend
4th of
closed
July,
session.
they do like. So moved. Second.
Go ahead.
Director Burke,
Yes.
Vice Chair Casaro,
Yes.
Director Fessler, Director Miller,
Yes.
Director Walsh,
Yes.
Chair Maniscalco.
Yes.
Motion carries.
We're now at open session, item 12. I need a motion to return to open session.
So moved.
Second.
Director Burke, present. Vice Chair Casaro,
Yes. Present.
Director Fessler,
Yes.
Director Miller,
Yes.
Director Walsh,
Yes.
Chair Maniscalco.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay. There's no action. Item number 13, I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Second.
Second.
Director Burke,
Yes.
Vice Chair Casaro,
Yes.
Director Fessler,
Yes.
Director Miller,
Yes.
Director Walsh,
Yes.
Chair Maniscalco.
Yes.
Motion carries.
28 minutes ahead of schedule. Please be safe out there.
Yeah.
We will. Just a little rain.
Okay.
Yeah, just a little rain. Watch for the floods.
All right, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you
Bye.
very much.
To see if
Have a
it's
good night.
gonna like ease up. Just for like 2 seconds, I can run.